Hello guys, we just reached out to the taking profit pattern and the taking profit level we just highlighted this morning, and we're going to close the series we've been recording recently following on with the trade on the Bitcoin. We've been recording the entry points, the scenario back then, the risk management, everything regarding that trade. We've been following up with a couple videos regarding the risk management throughout the speculative area when we try to break down that level, and I said, okay, you should cool down. We don't have to worry a lot, just assessing the risk, waiting, and eventually downsizing the positions if necessary. So this was all the risk management throughout that speculative areas. Unfortunately, the previous week I was on vacations, which means I was unable to cover up the breakout pattern, and the moment the trade got into actual validation. But just to be fully transparent in here, all the levels I've been putting reinforcements onto were announced before I went into vacation time, so everything was clear and transparent here. I'm not the kind of guy who talk things after they occurred. All the levels were given in advance, and so just to sum up things, we've been entering right in here first, and I say we, but I entered here back then. I just shared with you all the process regarding that trade. It was a really aggressive trade. I've been trading against the 2 hours trend and taking a 15-minute signal, so really aggressive. I was aware of the underlying risks of that trade, and actually the risks just showed up right after. We went to positive trading and then brutally reversed as a mean reversal in here to try break down the support. So this was the topic on the first video, the second video, in which I said, I show the risks, I see the risks, but I don't see it that much risk to trigger an exit signal and take a loss. So back then, I just holded on to the trade for the reasons I exposed back then. So you will have literally felt that trade just the way I did. And when everyone was just panicking, I was just cold-bloodedly watching out for the signals and said, okay, I don't see no reasons to go crazy bearish in here and nor to trigger bearish signals and exit the trades. So I've been patiently waiting, just said, okay, risk is increasing. I might need to downsize the position, which has been doing back then. There is that bullish signal. I literally missed this one simply because it occurred right at the night, and I wasn't in front of the computers in here to trade this, and it was too aggressive to consider taking an entry in here, so I just waited back then to see if the scenario will validate again. We just made another video back then, I think, if I remember correctly, but then we went back into risky areas again, and this is where I figured out that the risks were narrowing, and this is where I've been taking a second bullish entry, given in advance, or in real time I've been giving you this one. Right into Discord, and the users will be there to testify if necessary to anyone who will question my legitimacy. So anyway, second entry in here, much better price than the previous one, highly speculative entry, risk management, second confirmation entry, still in the risk area. And then I said, if we get there, I'll take another entry and I'll take another one on that level as well. It was basically breaking that resistance and getting there to that volume area to trigger reinforcements. So reinforcement number 2, reinforcement number 3. Position sizing is 0.10 leverage in here, 0.05, 0.05, 0.05, okay, which makes an entire position of 0.25 leverage into this Bitcoin asset. I said I will trade low leveraged, and I followed the plan accordingly. So it's a low leverage scenario in here, which makes an average price entry right next to this, which makes a total gain, as I've been executed right at the current market top, of nearly 30% with the leverage 0.5, which gives me a nice and comfortable gain of 7.5 on the equity, 7.5% rising on equity. Of course, as I've been trading CFD contracts, there is associated fees, which are really negligible in here, but just to set things straight, you have an idea of how much I've been gaining on that scenario, so nothing close to Lambo trading, tripling the account or things like that, just took 7.5% gain in that trade. This is trading. This is how it is. And that's a nice trading gain to get 7.5% return on a trade. Okay, those who've been doubling or tripling their accounts have been taking heavy amount of risks to get there. I haven't. Just to set things straight, at the lowest point in here, I was aware of risking nearly 2% loss on that trade. So I've been risking maximum 2% to get 7.5. This is trading. The rest is just highly leveraged speculation that is nothing close to trading, much more closer than gambling, and this is not what I'm trying to teach to you guys. So anyway, now that we've reached out to the target, the question you might wonder is, why is it going out right now? And the answer is really simple, and that will be today's educational content, is the fact that whenever you trigger a scenario, you have to be aware that the scenario is always taking place in two time frames. The time frames you're going to trade on and find your technical frameworks, in there it was a 2-hour chart time frame, but we do have to take care about context. And as I said, simply applying the strategy here, when you are taking care of context, you will always need to put limit to the trade. As a maximum loss, the maximum invalidation, okay, it says that, for example, if we had broken down that level, it would have been maximum invalidation regarding the context, okay? Because if we have broken down that support, it would necessarily have said that the market wasn't bullish at all, and that as a bull, I would have needed to take a loss. It's the maximum invalidation. It's the level you will never be able to put a stop loss below 2. It's the maximum stop loss level. I would have never put in my stop loss below that price. I've been adjusting the stop loss regarding the underlying risks and the volatility. I've been lowering the stop loss, but never ever been able to put the stop loss below the maximum loss level. Okay? And according to a maximum loss level, you also have a maximum gain target, which means no matter how you will get there, if you get there, you take the profits. No questions asked. No signals needed. It's just like the maximum invalidation. If the price reaches out there, you want to limit the trade and take the gains. This is what I've been saying back then. I said if we get to retrace 61% of the previous bearish impulse, I'll get out and take my gains. I just done that. It's just that simple. This was my maximum target. We've just reached out to it. I'm out. We have nothing close to a signal in the 2-hour chart time frame. As you can see right now, we've got nothing that suggests a bearish activity in here, but I don't care. All I care about is maximum risk target. I've been reached out to maximum target. I'm taking the associated gain. Now what the market will do after it is nothing of my concern. I'm just going to wait and see. It's kind of, eventually I'll get back in at a better price, or eventually even at the same price. But what happens right now and for the next following days, because now that I've just taken the gain, I'm not going to re-enter tomorrow. It's not going to happen like that. I'm going to let the market just work that area for a couple days, let's say a week, and then eventually I'll try to figure out if I still want to be bullish and re-entering that market. Anyway, the gain is now mine. It's nothing like gross profit. It's in the equity. It's a finished trade. I have that money available to eventually get back in the market with the same amount of leverage if necessary, or a lower one if I assess that the risks are increasing, or eventually a higher leverage if I think the trend is increasing in strength. Okay, so for now, it's just wait and see. I don't know what's going to happen. I want to see how the market will digest that maximum target I highlighted back then. Now that we've reached out to it, signals or no signals, it's a maximum target. I'm out, and I'll wait and see what the signals will be. Now we've got multiple options. Either the trend keeps on pushing upward, and as we've got a valid bullish breakout, we've been throughout the target, we've got a nice bullish move, it gives us two options. Either the market is just falling apart and retracing to the breakout level, which is right here, and in that case we'll have a nice range to build. Second option, we validate that breakout, we just retrace, trigger a bullish confirmation signal, just as we've done back then. We've been installing a trend, making the bullish pullback, and found the taking profit pattern in the end. This is what we could very well do in the next following days. Just keep on pushing there, retracing a bit, triggering a bullish pattern, and then we should have one more bullish extensions to go slightly higher than the current prices. This is one of the many options. The thing is that I had decent prices to get out. I got out. Just to set things straight, I had a limit level in here, which means I've been executed right here, even though we went there for just a few seconds. It was really an instant move in here, but I got my profit taken. That's how it is. I've been putting a limit on the price in here and got executed right at the best price. So that's how it is. I don't know what's happening next. If other videos like that will, if I think there is another educational content to be added to that list regarding the Bitcoin scenario, I will eventually do some. But for now, I think this one has to be a final one. Just as we entered, managed the risks, missed the triggering video as I was out from vacations, but now we're reaching out the termination of that trade. I think the series is over. And we have decent reasons to think that right now nothing much more is going to happen as the target has been reached out to. Okay, so I wish you guys good trades. I hope you had learned quite interesting things regarding that series of videos. For transparency, we've been highlighting all the targets. Before doing this, you've got all the daily analysis, the daily portfolio following each and every day. So for those who are questioning my legitimacy, and I know some of you guys might do it, and that's normal. You need to question the person you're learning out of, and as you're learning out of me, it's normal for you to question my legitimacy. So if you're doing so, just please yourself. Go find the daily videos, and you'll find all the levels highlighted day by day, all the risk managements made throughout the days, not just about the Bitcoin, but all the other currencies and things I might be trading. Okay, so I can do more in terms of transparency, and so if you're questioning legitimacy ahead of that, then that's your problem and none of my concern. I've been doing all I can to be transparent here, and making those videos was the highest level of transparency I could have made. So anyway, now that being said, I wish you guys good future trades, and hope you keep on learning things from me and not just from me. Bye, guys.